Hello everyone, how are you all? Hope you all are fine and safe. And here we are welcoming you to the internship program by Student of the Bar. Are you excited about your first day training? Then waiting for what? Let us have a brief discussion about how to excel in legal research. Before talking about excellency, we must have the knowledge about legal research. So, let's move on. Here is a definition of legal research. Legal research is a process of identifying and retrieving information necessary to support legal decision making. In its broadest sense, legal research includes each step of a course of action that begins with an analysis of the facts of a problem and concludes with the application and communication of the results of the investigation. So there are mainly two methods of legal research. They are empirical research and doctrinal research. Empirical research is a research that is based on observation and measurement of phenomena as directly experienced by the researcher. Whereas doctrinal research is a research that has been carried out on legal proposition by way of analyzing the existing statutory provision and cases by applying the reasoning power. After studying two methods, we can find out few differences in both research. So let's distinguish between the doctrinal and empirical research. Doctrinal research emphasizes upon legal principles, whereas empirical research less emphasizes upon doctrines. Doctrinal research uses traditional methods sources of data, whereas empirical research not solely depend on traditional or conventional source of data. Any law-trained person can do doctrinal research. Non-doctrinal involves particular skills, conceptual frameworks, and knowledge of other disciplines. In doctrinal research, scholars seek to answer one or two legal proposition or question. But in non-doctrinal research involves number of questions and large area. Doctrinal research is a theoretical study, whereas empirical research involves empirical or field study. After gathering all the information about legal research, now we have the question that how to do legal research. There are 5 steps involving them. They are reading, no plagiarism, editing, rewriting, and finally final formatting. Let's study one by one. The first basic step is reading. Before you start writing about the topic assigned, it's very essential to understand the concept. Study the subject matter as written by scholars, how it is interpreted by the landmark judgments, etc. When you read different materials on the subject matter, you gain various perspectives, the way authors or judges presented them, and most importantly, you will learn how to present your work to make it spicy or easier to understand. Moreover, reading secondary sources like articles and publication will give you idea about where to look for in primary sources. Read the statute on the subject matter, find out which section or articles deals with the subtopic. Look for any customary laws or regional practices applicable to the case, and also read case laws. The second step is say no to plagiarism. Every writer has a unique way of expressing their thoughts and understanding in words. Your way of explaining and expressing the things could be different than others. It is supposed to be in that way. Embrace the difference because your personality is portrayed in your writing. When you truly understand the beauty of writing, there won't be a chance of plagiarism. But for the newbies, I have one tip. It's okay to write few original lines than to submit a copied novel. The third step is editing. Though editing your own work seems like a waste of time sometimes, but it is the most important thing to do after completion of your writing and before submission. The process of writing involves thinking simultaneously with imagination. The way brain works is amazing, but Many a times it creates blunder by thinking faster than writing. And simple mishaps like if in the place of eat or light in the place of right would totally change the whole meaning. I would suggest let your trusted person or mentor go through your work and give you notes or point out your mistakes. Also, look out for grammatical errors and punctuations. The fourth step is rewriting. After you receive notes from the editor, make sure you have made changes to the final work. Rewriting need not to be written from scratch instead. It is simply correcting your mistake and reframing sentences accordingly. The final step is final editing and according to the submission guidelines. Formatting the work is very essential. The final presentation shall be according to the submission guidelines which will be different for each assignment criteria. For example, article submission guidelines for the blog team differs from legal research submission guidelines for the litigation team. Make sure you go through the guidelines very carefully and use the same font, size and patterns. Name the file as subject plus your name and click send. That's it.